How are you?
Hey, Chris.
Good to see you.
Nice.
This looks so fresh. It's very, very nice.
Crisp.
Crisp. That's probably the right word. It's very, very crisp. So it's quite interesting. We're here in Sweden, and we were both aiming to go to the Geneva Motor Show with fully four-seater cars, with no B-pillars and integrated seat belts in the front seats. There's something in the water in Sweden.
Yeah, totally. No? You could probably write a long description, and it sounds the same. But then
They, of course, appears very, very different. The flavor is completely different, but fantastic in their own rights.
that's not so bad.
Graceful.
That's pretty elegant, yeah.
Well, of course, you dive in quite deep
I'll take
into
it.
it.
Yes, you're pretty
Wow.
centrally not so subtle.
Well, subtle is not your business, really, is it?
Maybe not. It's a camera up here.
Yeah, so this is the camera for the rear view. You don't have a rear window.
Oh, right. Oh, yes. That's a cool trick.
It's amazing how, let's say, different the industry allows cars to be these days. There is no one trend that dominates everything. You can have very organic and soft sculptured cars. You can have very crisp and precise geometries on the car. I think previous decades were more form language defining. Right now, almost seems like you can make a cool car with any form language.
Is that now a sign of, liberation? Or is it a sign of we got lost and we don't know?
I hope when people look at our car, they don't feel lost. And when I look at this, it doesn't look like you were lost either. It looks amazing.
The whole thing about brand is to liberate from following a trend, but really find your own corner and define your own style.
And how do you like the transition from being like head of design for a large car company and now running your own? Is that, I guess it's quite a different scope of challenges.
The principle of what you do, that you basically try to drive things and steer them in the right direction, is the same.
Right.
The only thing that I really miss is being in a design studio and having that visual break of just simply being there.
But I guess you still get involved. You can't avoid of getting involved in that area.
Exactly.
More than a normal CEO would be, I guess. It's in
With
your
the
DNA.
design, more than Max likes it, yes.
Nice way to put it. Maybe Max should answer this question.
It's great because we don't have much. We don't need to communicate much to understand each other, and that's, I think, a difference. I mean, I have not worked directly for another CEO that was not a designer, so but I see what happens, and what happens is that there's a lot of misunderstanding, or you need to really convince. You need to convince as well a lot people to do what you think is right, and we have a sort of understanding from the past, so that makes my life easier in a way. But then, of course, we have our discussions because even in our world, the tastes are not always 100% aligned.
I've been actually sometimes questioning myself. Why do I spend so much time and energy to build these insane objects for the rich few? And I come to the realization that it started when I was a kid, when I saw these cars myself. I couldn't afford them or anything, and they drive on the road. Wow, that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I want to be somehow a part of it. I want to do that. I wanted to be with that entity, completely irrationally, of course, but it just drew me in. And now I realize that the reason why we're doing this is not to supply a few people with extreme cars. It's to show the world that you can fulfill your dreams. We allow people to realize you can do anything if you put your mind to it. And that is maybe something that actually can help the society as a whole much more than that these objects might stay in time for a long period of time and be worshipped in themselves. Yeah, that's how I motivate myself.
I think that was a cool final word, Christian. Awesome.
I think it's really cool to show the world what happens in Sweden, right?
Yeah, where things happen, where the sun always shines.
Exactly.
And we run around in t-shirts.
That's it.
I'm taking one photo from here. You guys smile? Yeah, that's a good one.